233, what you know about Africa? Young black king, never lose that confidence.
Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Hair Fantasy. Yes, you're welcome. Today, guess what? We are gonna talk about hair care. Yes, you know, we have a lot of questions when it comes to hair care because we watch tons of videos, but yet still we're like, what should I do? What should I not do when it comes to my hair? Don't worry, because Hair Fantasy, we have got you. So it would help us answer our numerous questions. We have these resourceful ladies with us and they're going to introduce themselves.
Okay, I am Lavana. I do fanimation, and it's an artist who basically just draws from the natural beauty around her, and I love to draw natural hair as well.
Okay.
And I'm London from Me Hair and Skincare. We provide essential oils, sulfate-free shampoos and conditioners, hair and skin creams, and accessories and more.
So now it's time for the part you've all been waiting for. We're gonna answer some of your questions, well, not some, but like almost all your questions. So the first question is, I want to go natural. What challenges will I face? Ladies, think about it.
Well, one challenge that you will definitely face is what people say around you, the social input, especially from your family members. I grew up in like the old school home, so my mom permed my hair, permed her hair. She still perms her hair, even though I try to get her to stop. There's nothing wrong with perming hair. It's just your own personal preference. And like I said, people have their own personal preferences. So if you're in a community where most people have hair that's not kept in its natural state, like my own or London's own, then you could get some negative feedback that could discourage you from wanting to continue your journey. But just remember, it's a personal preference, and people are going to say what they're going to say. You just need to have the strength to do what you need to do in order to take care of your hair.
I like that.
That's really good advice.
Yeah. Okay. The next question also. It says, how can I make my natural hair more manageable?
I actually think that to make your hair more manageable, you just need to give yourself more personal time, right? You need to be able to be willing to put in the effort into making your hair more manageable, and by putting in the time to do that, like, everything will just fall into place basically. So if you have your proper regimen set out, for example, like on Sundays, I'm going to be in the house and I'm just going to deep condition it. You know, your hair will be moisturized, it'll be more easy to manipulate, and then the rest of the week you don't really have to touch it and it'll be okay. And this is how you can make your hair more manageable.
I actually like that. So that brings us to our next question. It says, should I choose hair products that are best for my hair? Hair products that are best for my hair.
I actually think that to choose the best hair products for your hair, you should definitely look for something like that matches your hair texture, because different people have different kinds of hair texture, right? Whether you're in just like the black community or you're in other ethnicities, right? So if you have straight hair and your hair is very oily, you're probably gonna want to find things that like reduce oil. But if you have like kinky curly hair, you might need to look for products that are gonna add that moisture to your hair, for example. There are also various types of people in the community who have low porosity hair, high porosity, so you might need to look for more water-based products as opposed to, you know, other chemical-based or like oil-based products and such like that. So
I'd like to add on to that.
Go ahead.
Also, during that time when you're looking for products that are suitable for your hair, since most of the products that people of our hair type use are natural based, literally hasn't been that processed or doesn't have any other ingredients in it, you want to keep in mind about allergic reactions. Because there are some people who can eat coconut, but if they put it on their scalp, their scalp acts up and they can't put it on their scalp even though everyone else uses it. So some things that everyone else uses might not be suitable for you, and that's okay. You're just extra special, and that is fine.
Extra special. I like that.
Definitely. I can't can't even use shea butter on my hair alone
Oh,
because
really?
it makes my hair like become dry
Oh yeah.
and like flaky. So I usually have to mix it with something in order to use it
Wow.
first.
I love me some shea butter.
Yeah, I put it on my skin and I put it on the edges of my hair. My scalp isn't too fond of shea butter.
Yeah.
It likes the oils better.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
So now let's go to the next question. Says, why is it that I have excessive hair loss since I came to China? My friends complain too. Hair loss since I came to China.
That's actually a really good question. A lot of people tend to ask about this, and our combined answer, right, is that the biggest issue with that is just water pollution and your diet, right? So with water, it comes to how much water you're drinking every day, and then also the water coming from the shower, for example, is very harsh and it has a lot of minerals and pollution inside of it itself. So when you put that on your hair, it puts a lot of strain on your hair and a lot of stress, and then it causes it to fall out.
Yeah. And then diet isn't just the things that you take out of what you eat, but it's also what you put inside of you and what you eat. Because a lot of people, when they come to China, as soon as they start eating the food here, their intestines or their stomach goes a little haywire because it's adjusting to the type of food here. So you just have to keep mindful of what you put in your body also affects your hair, skin, and nails.
Let's go to our next question. This question is, I want length and thickness. My main question is how to go about starting a hair regimen. Are there any guidelines to follow or any tips at all?
Well, I would say in order to start your hair regimen, you need to know your hair type. So if your hair is the type of hair that becomes very dry, brittle, maybe flaky, that means that your hair probably is low porosity and needs lots of moisture, right? So then I would begin by starting to spray your hair every day with water, and then increasing your own water intake, meaning drink more water. And then after you do that, start looking for products that are water-based, and then use those products to go about like creating protective styles like twist outs and braid outs, and then don't touch your hair for like a short while, and then your hair will start to revive itself and grow, and that's how you'll get your length and thickness in there.
And I would just like to add to that real quick. Your hair regimen will change as you grow older and as you change environment. So be flexible with your hair regimen.
Yeah, actually hair, like the regimens, right? They're just like taking medicine. If you're constantly taking the same medicine all the time, your body's going to get used to it. Yeah, so every now and then you're going to need to change it up so that your hair will be like on its toes.
Yeah.
Kind of on its toes, on its ends. And then, yeah.
Now let's go to the next question. It says, my edges don't really want to grow. Edges. I tried the Jamaican black castor oil some time back, but it didn't really work. I don't know if I wasn't using it well, so my hair has a high porosity, which can be very annoying, because when I moisturize it, it dries up by the evening. I need tips or any help.
I actually have low porosity hair, meaning that
High and low.
Meaning that when you have low porosity hair, it takes a longer time for your hair follicles to open up and absorb water. So you might have to, so what I do is I spray my hair first thing in the morning, and then I change my clothes, and then I finish my hair because my hair needs time to open up and absorb the water. And then I put oil and cream on it. Some people switch it up, they spray it and then put cream and oil before the oil, but it just depends on you personally with your hair, because sometimes even if your hair is what they say it is, it's not how your hair reacts to it. So then I spray my hair every morning and every night before I go to bed, my own little water mixture of water and some essential oils and a little bit of conditioner, just like a little small bit. And I spray that along my edges. And then what I do is I take argan oil and I take some shea butter and I actually mix it in my palm of my hand, and I do this along my edges, and then on the back of my neck, or what some people call the kitchen, or in the islands we call it our cousins, I would take an extra bit of oil and just 2-strand twist the little bit back of my hair and keep it as its own protective. Because what some people do is when they braid or plait their hair, they're tugging on this front part like it's part of the big one. When in reality, what you could do is that you could treat it as its own separate section and twist them, and then add the twists while you're twisting or braiding or styling your hair. That way, it's a double protection for your edges.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually.
Girl, I had so much practice. I was like, why cousins, why?
Cousins. Okay, so now let's go to the next question also. It says my hair is extremely dry. It is like just this question. How do I keep them well moisturized? Moisture. What to use and how to go about it? Any recommendations?
Well, revive me.
Hello, Lady Me.
You can try Revive Me today for only $5.99. No, yeah, if your hair is extremely dry, right? Again, this is talking about low porosity, high porosity. It probably has something to do with lack of water. So again, you need to drink water and spritz your hair every day. If you want to do it every day and night, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or once a day, however it works for you, just do it at least every day, right? And then after that, again, you have to look for water-based products. We've said this many times throughout the video, right? But we also have a product here at Me Hair and Skincare that you can use called the Revive Me, and it deals with people who have extremely dry, brittle hair, low porosity, damaged hair, anti-hair loss, and anti-dandruff. So if you would like to try that, go ahead and you can contact me or you can contact Hair Fantasy and she'll direct you over. But yeah, water is your best friend.
Especially with the water here in China, you can buy a hair filter on Taobao and attach that to your shower head and use that. Or if you have a spray bottle, just use the regular filtered water, not tap water, but the bottled water. Put it in your spray bottle and spray your hair. Some people might be like, I don't really see a difference, or they don't care. That's their own personal preference. But for me, I really love my hair and I treat it like a plant. So I water it like every day, especially during the summer. I might spray it twice or 3 times or 4 times, depending on that heat. That Wuhan heat.
I tell you.
Make you want to faint.
Make you faint.
Okay, so this next question deals with dandruff. It says, how do I control dandruff and itchy scalp? You know, you see people do like this.
Itchiness.
I'm like, get some help.
That's so true, though. That's so true.
It is.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, I actually used to have a huge problem with dandruff and itchy scalp because before I had a major case of psoriasis when I was younger, right? And my mom used to just do hot oil treatments, and you can try doing a hot oil treatment just by heating up a little bit of oil just to a warm temperature on your stove and then putting it into a bottle with a nozzle and just taking it and separating your hair and putting it through and massaging it in, and then over time the dandruff will become less and less, and then your scalp will also become less itchy, right? But then again, this has to do with the same having like dry hair, so you also need to make sure you keep your
hair moisturized.
Yeah, keep your hair moisturized and wet, and then you shouldn't have any issues with that.
And I have more of an itchy scalp, more so after I went bald, because yes, I was bald for a while.
You were bald?
Yes, I purposely shaved my head because it's like I've never seen what my head looks like bald. I've never seen my scalp. Like, I've never seen it, so I was just curious, so I just did it, and my hair was gonna grow back anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I did it, but then I realized that their scalp is a lot like the skin on your face.
Oh.
So you have to also keep that moisturized, and you also have to take care of that, like how you would take care of your face. For me, when my skin gets itchy, it's either because of product buildup or because it's dry.
Yeah.
So I would actually run my head underneath the water, like douse it maybe twice a week. Not shampoo it, not condition it, just put water, run it through it with water, and then I'll put cream and the oils back inside of it. So it just really just needs to be dipped in water sometimes.
I agree.
That's a good.
So like about dousing your hair in water, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people also don't tend to like to do that because, you know, you'll lose your curls or any protective style you did. I also don't recommend to douse your hair in water when you have it in a protective style, as in like twist outs, because I did that once and your hair begins to lock. So if you don't want that, then don't do it. But we recommend to at least try to find a way to keep your hair wet as much as possible. So if you have your hair in curls, for example, like you did a twist out, go ahead and spritz it around and just, you know, massage it in. But you don't have to, like, you know, pour buckets over it all the time. But yeah, just keep it moist.
Yeah, that's just my personal thing that I do.
Oh, no. I
Yeah,
do it too.
buckets.
I do it too. But a lot of people don't like to, like, you know, take out their twist outs basically.
And
Because that'll, like, change it.
Yeah, and it's really good for like when you have wash and go days, you know, people who just leave their hair out in an afro or just leave their hair out for several days to manage your hair underneath water, because that just gives your hair enough. It's not as so dry. It's moist when you handle it. I mean, before on YouTube, people were saying don't manage your hair when it's wet because it'll break it. But I found managing my hair while it's wet is better. So even then, trends change for hairstyles. You just need to find out what works for you.
Actually, I would recommend don't manage your hair while it's dry, because then if you're constantly pulling at it while it's dry, it won't be flexible enough, and then that will just cause it to break. That'll cause it to knot up
And brittle. Brittle.
When you're washing your hair and you're deep conditioning it or you're just conditioning it, go ahead and run a wide tooth comb through it, or you can go ahead and like finger detangle your hair and then that should be fine.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. So, what final advice would you ladies want to give us?
I would say, since you're going to be living with your hair for the rest of your life, take your time with it. Don't feel like you have to be rushed or feel like it needs to look a certain way. Not everyone's hair is going to look like the same picture you see on Instagram or YouTube, because one, it's a different person who's doing that hair, and two, everybody's hair is different. Our genetic code is different for every single person, so everyone will have their own little special bits. So just enjoy the journey, because it's going to be a long one.
Enjoy the journey.
Just enjoy it.
And remember, the key messages in this whole entire video is that water is your best friend. Stay clear of pollution, protect your hair, right? And watch your diet.
Yes.
Watch what you are putting into your body, because that will basically manifest itself and give you bad results if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Wow, I have learned a whole lot actually. Thank you so much, ladies. Okay, so we've got to the end of our video. Thank you so much, ladies.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks
for coming. Funimation.
Yes, Funimation.
Funimation.
Like fangs.
Fun? Oh.
Yeah, like fangs. Fangimation.
Fangimation.
There's a whole story behind that.
How do you get that name?
There's a whole story behind it.
And
Me hair and skincare.
Me hair and skincare. Thanks so much, ladies. So we see you in our next video. We say goodbye.
Bye, girls. Bye.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Love your hair. Make time for it.